the challenge for us is being a new team together. I think we're still trying to figure that out a little bit. So we've tried it through the year. We have tried a few different things to see what works for both of us. So a lot of times it's the stickies. We tried a big binder, and everybody had a tab, and the stickies went in there. And then somebody from the team gave us one single sheet of paper that had next steps and key learning and
sort of the 4 frames all at a glance.
Yeah. So we were sticking stickies on that, and we've done our Google Community, so we can refer to that. We tried Google Keep. I mean, it's always
We've tried everything. Yes.
a working thing, and sometimes at even certain times of the year, certain things work, and then it's like, okay, this isn't working now. We need to change it.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've just really introduced the binders, but more as an opportunity for the kids to take on some more of the responsibility of collecting evidence. So when we look at what they've chosen and we look through their binders, we can have a discussion about it, because that's interesting as well. They weren't able to do that themselves. They didn't have that independence. They didn't have that sort of confidence to say, yes, this is something that I've done, that I feel good about, that I want to put in. But the tricky part was when we sat down to look at the COLs, we had stuff everywhere. Little pieces of paper, we were flipping through photos and trying to make notes. And so that helped us to say, okay, that was a little bit scattered.
Yeah.
Now we need to, for the last COL, we need to be a little bit more deliberate. When those big moments come, we're going to try and write them down. Like with a little bit more than just a few bullet points. We're going to actually try and write that story. You know, there's some big moments that happened for Adam today that I'll go back later and write out, because potentially I will be able to represent that as moments of big growth for him. And it's easier if I've captured those in a more full fashion versus, he said this on a piece of paper. And so we found that coordinating all of that took an immense amount of time before we were able to kind of write that COL. So that's like a change in practice that we'll probably have.
Yeah.
But I still think that we have this collection of evidence that represents each child, and it looks different for every child. It's actually, I wouldn't say we have the exact same pieces for every child, or even, we've got a giant file on some kids electronically, and then we have other children that we have more written notes.
So we had a group of children created a hotel car.
Yes.
So it was with the Diplo, and all the windows were stacked up, and every window was a room, and it was traveling. And the group that made it, we documented different ways for them. Like one, we took a picture and put it into his digital file.
Yeah.
Another student was confident in his skills. He actually drew the diagram so that, because it kept breaking, they used that as the instructions to build it. So he could do that part. So you have to meet their level of what you can document.
For sure.